We're going to talk about a controversial issue here right now, okay? So sit down and listen to this. I read this earlier in the week and was intrigued by it. A writer for The Guardian says he hates being a black man. I want to read some quotes from Orville Lloyd Douglas. He writes, "I can honestly say I hate being a black male. I just don't fit into a neat category of the stereotypical views people have of black men. In popular culture, black men are recognized in 3 areas: sports, crime, and entertainment. I hate rap music. I hate most sports, and I like listening to rock music such as PJ Harvey." So I want to bring in the author right now. His name is Orville Lloyd Douglas. He joins me in Toronto. I guess you can call it self-hatred. Who do you blame for your self-hatred?
I would say that I think it manifests from society, I would say.
When I read through all of that, and you're saying you hate being a black man, do you hate being a black man, or do you just hate the stereotypes about black men?
I hate the stereotypes about black men. There's in pop culture, the stereotypical image of a black male is to be aggressive, is to be arrogant, is to not to be a nice person. And I just feel like as though there are a lot of black males out there, such as myself, who don't conform to those sexist and racist stereotypes.
Do you really not want to be black anymore? Is that what you're saying?
No,
if you could change it, would you change it to some other race? Would you be white? I mean, what are you saying here?
No, what I'm saying is that you have to remember that I'm a Canadian. I'm not an American, and you have to remember that in Canada there are less than 1 million blacks in Canada. Canada is a very Eurocentric country. I mean, the image of Canada people have is of hockey, Molson beer, cold winters. You know, black Canadians, we're really at the we're kind of like at the margins of Canadian society. It's not like the United States, where African Americans make up 12% of the United States population, and there's close to 40 million blacks in the United States. The total population of Canada is only 33 million. So when you grow up in a country where you don't really see a lot of positive images about black people, it does affect you, and that's why that's where I'm coming from when I wrote the article.
Gosh, I could talk to you all night, because in a way I understand what you're saying about the stereotypes about being black, but shouldn't that push you to learn more about yourself and to love yourself more? I understand the stereotypes, and even coming from other black people, they expect you to be a certain way, right? And when you don't fit into that category, then all of a sudden you're not black, which is a bunch of bull. But go on, and I'll follow up.
Okay, well, what I wanted to say is that I think that this is just my perspective as a black Canadian, that some African Americans have this that they are the de facto black people of the world. And what African Americans need to understand is that in different countries, black people experience blackness differently. And I think it's really important. I stress this because in Canada, it's just so different. Canadians are very uncomfortable talking about race. I tried to get this article published in a Canadian newspaper, but I didn't get a response. In Canada, Canada has like this engenders this mythology that that we don't have problems with racism. I actually think the United States is more progressive in the sense that in America, people are not afraid to talk about race. But in Canada, people are very uncomfortable talking about these kind of issues.
Okay. Why didn't you write an article saying, I love being a black man, but I hate the stereotypes about being a black man? Why did you say... I'm definitely conflicted. I'm definitely conflicted. I definitely am. Like, that's why I wrote the article. I'm really being honest. I definitely am conflicted about certain things. Like, I totally acknowledge that, because I do have feelings of, you know, insecurities, of doubt, of not feeling like I'm good enough, and I think I definitely acknowledge that in my article. Okay. Fair enough. That's how you feel. I'm going to go on and read some other stuff from your column here. You say a lot of black men don't want to acknowledge the feelings of disgust we have for ourselves. I think my own self-hatred manifests from the exterior, from the outside world. It is born out of the despair and the unhappiness I see within a lot of young black men. Explain that.
I'll say this. Like in Toronto, for example, there's a real serious problem with gun violence, and a lot of young black men are dying. And sadly, in the city of Toronto, whenever black men are mentioned, it's usually not about something positive. It's usually something about something very negative. And what I'm saying is that it does affect the psyche. It does affect me. And that's why I also quoted Frantz Fanon, the author of the book Black Skin, White Mask, when I talk about Fanon talking about how the black man is viewed in a third person. You're not viewed as a three-dimensional human being. And if you grow up in a country where there are hardly any positive images of representations of black men, and you see all this negativity, I think it does affect the psyche.
Okay, Orville. I'm going to spend more time with you than we thought. We're going to get rid of some other stuff, and you and I are going to talk on the other side of the break. I want to get more from you. All right, having a very intriguing conversation now. Let's get back to our guest now, Orville Lloyd Douglas. He wrote an article about why he hates being a black man. Okay, let's go on and talk a little bit more about this, because you said that African Americans think that they are the only people of color, black people, and everything should be defined through African American eyes, and it's different in your country. People experience blackness differently. And listen, a lot of African Americans in this country probably did not know that. You probably taught a lot of people something. Why do you think your experience is different than African Americans?
Well, I think my experience is different than African Americans because my life experience is different. I mean, African Americans, I think, are very organized. You have organizations like the NAACP. You have a black president, President Obama, in his second term. I mean, that's very transformative. Regardless of what people think about Obama, it's incredible that a black man is the president of the United States. In Canada, we've never had a prime minister of color. And in the city of Toronto, the visible minority population is close to 50%, yet the city of Toronto has never had a mayor who is not white.
Okay,
Canada, the Canadian society...
I understand what you're saying, and I was just there earlier in the year with one of our then executive producers of Black in America, Geraldine Moriba, talking on this very issue about being black in Canada and how it's in many ways different, in some ways the same as America. I want to go on to say to you, though, let's just have a conversation here. So viewers, listen, what you're doing, regardless of what people say about you, because I know you're getting a lot of hate online, what you're doing is very brave. Whether I agree with you or not, or whether the viewers agree with you or not, you understand that by you saying this, you're going to make people talk, at least get them discussing this, and probably change some minds and get people thinking about it. But do you realize that you're very brave?
Yes, my sister told me I was very brave. I've actually gotten emails from people telling me that they're really proud of me. I also have to thank Heather Long, the assistant editor at Guardian America. She's the one who agreed to publish my article. She really felt like I had important things to say, so I have to really thank her for giving me the opportunity to write the piece as well.
But people want me to beat you up and say, tell this man to sit down and that he's a self-hating black man. I don't know your experience, so I can't tell you that. What do you make of, do you even hate to go online now?
No, it's intriguing. I'm fascinated by it because it's so strange to have people talk about you and say these nasty things they don't know anything about me. You know, it's a very weird feeling. Like last night, I went to an African American website called Clutch, and it was the comments online were mixed. Some people were saying I'm this and I'm that, but then some people were saying that they kind of agreed with me. They said that they're not listening to the nuances of my argument.
That nuance is very important, and I understand exactly. And a lot of times people see the headline. If they see a headline that says, I hate being black, that's what they're going to take away from it, because people read blurbs, headlines, sound bites, right? And they don't get into the nuance of what you're saying. I've been a victim of that too, so I understand it. So let me give you some advice here. Don't let anyone define who you are, what is authentic, what is black for you, whatever. You are who you are, right? Don't let black people decide for you. Don't let white people decide for you. Don't let the news, don't let the headlines, don't let the negativity. I love being black. People accuse me of not being black enough or whatever that means. It's ridiculous. Be who you are, love who you are, but you should actually learn to love being black. You should I tell kids and younger people all the time, take the negativity, take the challenges in your life and turn them around to be your silent motivator. So find your blackness and what people are saying about you, criticizing you, and make that a motivator to be a better person. Do you understand what I'm saying? Don't let other people define who you are.
I hear what you're saying.
What do you think of that? What do you make of that?
I hear what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, when I wrote the article, it's just hard, you know, like what I mentioned, like sitting on a bus and people, you know, don't sit next to you. I mean, it's just, I definitely hear what you're saying. I'm just saying that it's a struggle I'm dealing with, and I definitely will take what you're saying to heart, because I just want to say thank you for giving me this opportunity to be able to speak and give my perspective. And I really value your opinion, because I really think that as a public figure, you have done so much for people such as myself.
Yeah. Listen, thank you. You don't need to say that, but you should not. And don't let anyone define who you are and get all of that other hate out of your head. I want you to love yourself. I want you to love being black, and I'm sure most people, I'll continue to talk to you. I'll get your number and we'll talk offline. But again, you're very brave, and regardless of what it is that you're saying, whether people believe it's the right thing or the wrong thing, continue to be who you are, be authentic, and walk in your own truth. Thank you. Okay?
Thank you very much.